Dude, where's my K?
Where is my K? Kayak shack. Kind of a boathouse. Gotta be close. Dude, where is my K? What is this? Wonder what it says.
Kawani family of 2020, old and new. We are experiencing this camp season apart, yet together. As the world changes, so must we, as a community, adapt. United by our love for a special cove on a lake in the Maine mountains, not for the beauty of the land, but for the beauty of all which has been created among those pines. Wisdom, compassion, respect for nature and fellow humans. Lessons in humanity camp aims to instill in each of us. In a time of heart, we must feed the central fire of the Great Spirit within ourselves in the way we interact with the world. Be kind, show respect, remember the big R. Finish what you start. Right the wrongs you see, and be the change you wish to see. May there always be a Kawani.
What's up, YouTube? I'm Surfboard, and I'll be your host for this week. Love the Kawani fam. So sorry we can't be there on the shores of Lake Webb, but we got an awesome virtual camp here for you, and get ready for week 5. Send it.
Ever since I was super young, even before I was an Eagle Lodger, I've always looked at Council Point and the fires out there as being a magical experience, and that hasn't changed the slightest in the past 23 years of my life. I've always looked up to those who went out, scavenged for the wood, built the fire. It's really hard work, and I want to give a little special shout out to the campcraft staff who do that every single year. With that being said, I would now like to light the central fire of the Great Spirit. Kawani, no go na! Kawani, no, no, no! I don't know what JP's talking about. That was so natural here in my yard. Small fire falling all over the place. That was just like the real thing. So I want to get you guys ready. We got an awesome JMG speech from Pete St. John that he'd like to give. And we also have a great Kawani from Home log that Mike and Camille have been working on. So let's look at those.
Hello, Kawani. This is Pete St. John coming to you from the Junior Maine Guide testing site, where a bunch of JMG people have gotten together to help clean up the site from the damage that a lot of winter storms have done. A year from now, about 60 or 70 campers from across the state will be here for 5 days of rigorous testing in all the aspects of outdoor leadership skills. And I'm fortunate to be joined today by the legendary and socially distant Moose Curtis, who is the director of the Junior Maine Guide program. Moose, thank you very much for joining me here. Most JMGs say that this is the hardest work they've ever had to do, and yet they find it the most rewarding thing they've ever done. What makes JMG such a successful program?
Thanks, Pete. It's always good to talk about Camp Kawani. I have been involved and have known Kawani since I went through the Junior Maine Guide program myself back in, I shouldn't say it, 1963 and 64. One is probably the love of the outdoors, and the program's a challenge, an incredible amount of skills you need, but at the same time, you're learning how to take care of yourself. A lot of decisions, when do I light the fire? What sort of firewood do I use? How long does it take to cook so-and-so? You're making those decisions on your own. And as 14, 15-year-olds going through the program, it's an incredible growing experience, and it develops, I believe, just a great deal of confidence.
You and I and JP and Camp Kawani go back a long way with the Junior Maine Guide program.
I remember Camp Kawani from the 60s. My early years as a tester, Kawani had the Dietrich brothers come up, who were just two outstanding individuals. Kawani continued since then just being a wonderful supporter of the Junior Maine Guide program, and I don't know how many boys they have sent through the program up to testing camp, but it's been incredible. And you can tell by the spirit they have that how respectful the Junior Maine Guide program is in Camp Kawani.
So we're all disappointed not to be here for real this year. What advice can you give for kids thinking about preparing for the JMG for a year from now?
First, I hope you have a chance to get outside. There might be a park or someplace you can rent a canoe and just get out and do some of that, or take your family out for a trip in a local state park. Plan the menu, bring a little firewood, cook over a fire. There are a lot of things. And if you are interested in studying, there are a lot of online videos nowadays directed toward the skills you need to perfect in order to become a Junior Maine Guide.
And do practice that cooking, because I think we have a lot of room for improvement. That's my own personal thought. Anyway, thanks very much, Moose, for joining us. And folks, we will see you in 2021. Thank you.
Live from Council Point, it's The Log. Starring Mike Altmeyer. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Altmeyer.
All right, guys, time for the log. All right, quiet down, guys. Quiet. Oh, that's right. There's no camp this year. Well, guys, I didn't think there would be a log this year, but I think we're going to have one log 2020. But anyways, I want to just give you a rundown on things, how things are going, because BA and I have made an effort to kind of recreate some things. We convinced Debbie, who's around, Debbie lives locally, the camp mother, and we convinced her. We had to push her, but she did donut night just for us. We stood in line, just BA and I think I've got the figures here. I had 79 donuts and BA had 83. So we're still recovering from that, but that was, so we're not going to complain any future years about only getting one donut. Another thing is that we played Capture the Flag against each other. One was a gray, one was a maroon. We had a lot of fun. Now I excelled because I actually came up with a flag. That's right, I captured a flag, BA didn't see me, and I went back to the other side. Unfortunately, later in the game I got captured, and that's why I'm up here. I've been up here for about a week and a half waiting for someone to free me from jail, but there's no other person playing, so that's not going to happen probably. So I'm hoping the bell will ring or something, but I might be here next summer. Now BA is living here. He's in the infirmary, kind of a security guard. And so far we've only had 300 uninvited guests come in. He's got to do a little better job. But he's up there, he likes to try to give people medicines and stuff. So BA, I think it's probably not legal. So anyways, next summer if the infirmary is messed up, blame it on BA, please. We are adjusting slowly to not having camp, and I know you guys are too. Now one thing that's happened, it happens every year after camp and before camp, the animals kind of sense the humans are around and they kind of retake their land. And that's happened. The frogs have now taken control of the athletic field. And actually I found out the other day the frogs have either set up a baseball league, a basketball league, a soccer league. Unbelievable. Now we did have people come down from town to watch this, and unfortunately we can't let visitors in. So the people that came down to watch the frogs, we had their cars towed away. Okay, towed away, frogs, towed. Okay, moving on quickly. This is weird with no audience, I can't hear you boo. So I came up with a great idea of why don't we get a real wildlife into the lodges they're named after. There's a real eagle living in Eagle Lodge. There's a real pine tree growing in Pine Tree and so forth. And it took me about 2 weeks to do this, but I was able to get that accomplished. Now, there have been some issues, I must say that. The pine tree has already grown through the roof. The bear, no one gets along with the bear. I gotta say it right now, he's a bully. And when we eat up at the dining hall, he eats all the chicken buckets and the buckets themselves. And so no one likes the bear, and don't get me started on the beaver. The beaver has eaten half the lodge so far, so we might have to do a little work on that. But these are the ways I tried to adjust to camp not being here, and I didn't think I'd end up doing it long, but I hear there's some other people also adjusting to life without Kawani.
So I have to tell you a little bit of disturbing news. I think it was like shortly after we announced that there wouldn't be a 2020 season, Mark just started getting really weird. You know, he started losing weight, he started looking kind of bedraggled. So I was concerned, and we were in Weld, and one day he went missing, so I started looking around for him, and I found him out here in Campcraft. And thought, is that Mark?
Yeah, I've been looking for CC Rock. I figure I'm the only contestant, so my odds are pretty good. And I'm on break right now because it's really hard work. I'll go for hours looking for CC Rock, and then I'll take a break, and then I'll go again. And, you know, I don't even know what CC Rock looks like. Does anybody really know?
This is B.A. Altmeyer, live from the Council Point, already getting psyched for 2021. I know you guys are all looking forward to 2021, and I'm getting ready for the B.A. chant. Wherever you're living, wherever you're in your household, help me with the B.A. chant. B.A. B.A. Start a little slow, build it up. B.A. I need your help, Please, reach out to me. B.A. B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, yeah!
All right, guys. Turn it in. Mike. All right, let's roll it, guys. Not too noisy. Come on. Mike. Settle down a little bit in here. Let's settle down. I know. Mike.
Okay, John. Yeah, we got 3 different things today for lunch. We've got Eagle doing a presidential range hike, tennis tournament at Acadia, and we've got a javelin catch tournament over on the soccer field right after lunch. Hey, we've got 2 minutes, so we ring the bell.
Sean, I've been telling you there's no camp this summer.
What?
There's no camp. We don't have camp this summer. What are you making all this food for?
Who have I been cooking for the last, what, 5 weeks?
Why are we here?
Well, I've seen
I've got lobster feed this Sunday night.
I've seen Wallace and BA working on the new lodge the other day. Mike's doing trivia.
So they're going through 300 chicken patties a lunch?
They must be. Are you eating it?
I'm not. Wow. Okay. So if we don't need to be here, okay, well, have a good 10 moons then.
All right.
Okay.
Okay,
bye.
Bye, guys.
How time slips away.
So this here is the long lost disc.
Back in the day, my dad made this disc out of like a 1/2-inch piece of plywood. Him and the Earths and other longtime Kawanians used to love taking it out behind the boat, and that was no difference for me and my friends when we first got the chance to take this out. This disc here actually inspired me to make a wake surfboard, so I thought it'd be a cool idea to show you guys how to make your own inexpensive, pretty easy to make wake surfboard step by step.
First thing you have to do is get a piece of cardboard that's at least 56 inches in length, and you got to make a pattern out of it. So let's do that. After your cardboard is cut out, you can trace both sides under the piece of wood and then cut out the piece of wood. Forgot to mention before the power tools come out, please only do this with parent permission and supervision. Here is to round off these sharp corner edges.
We also need to put a tip in it. A few pieces of scrap wood here. If this is higher and then you screw this in, then you can see here that there's like a nice angle to it. So when you're actually out on the water, you don't just eat it. To get the right width of fiberglass, I'm gonna go to its widest point, which is just about 19.5, and then I'll just cut this out. We're going to talk about how to do the math behind how much fiberglass resin and how much fiberglass hardener you need in order to properly do the fiberglass. So it's a little tricky. What I did here is measure out 7 ounces poured into this cup. So now I'm going to try to figure out how much hardener I need. Company Bondo Fiberglass recommends that you use 1 to 2% hardener to resin. Since I'm assuming it'll take 7 ounces of resin, you'll multiply off by 1.5%. This is how much hardener I'm gonna need. Before we begin, I recommend not wearing good clothes. We're gonna pour this fiberglass into the line that we marked, so that means it's hot. So now we're on the clock. So what stinks about this is that the prep can take hours and hours and hours of work. And if you mess up, then you're just out so much time. And we didn't even mess up again. Alright. The next step is to cut these screws out. Then we're going to cut off the sides, sand this one more time so it's ready for its final coat. Are you still with me? Because we're just about done with this project. So this is never before seen. We're going to try to put pictures down. We're going to do the fiberglassing of the underside.
Here she is. Look at how good she came out. Completely waterproof. Amazing. Ready for the water.
Hey guys, it's Macy. You may remember me from 2018 when I worked in the History Museum, and 2019 when I ran the camp store and the camp library and did inspection and a whole bunch of other things. And because I kind of did everything around camp, and since we're in the middle of this pandemic quarantine summer with lots of free time to do lots of things, I'm here today to tell you how I do everything. So one of the things I've been doing in quarantine is reading a lot, and the way that I accomplish reading all sorts of books is that I read a different book on every level of my house. So my upstairs book right now is Meg, Jo, Beth, and Amy, which is a modern graphic novel adaptation of Little Women. If we go down to to the ground floor. My downstairs book is We Dream of Space by Newbery Medal winner Erin Entrada Kelly. And then over here in my basement, my downstairs book, which I'll admit I've not been making a ton of progress on, but still reading, is A History of Kansas. On my quest to do everything, the magic happens at my desk, and one of my best tips for how to do everything is have a nice setup. And as you can tell, I have about 1 million tabs open in each window. I'm also a big fan of using to-do lists to get things done. To-do lists, to-do lists, to-do lists, to-do lists. And my big to-do list for all day and every day. I've been writing letters as part of my doing everything. I've written probably 75 letters since I've been home in Colorado since March, and I communicate using my typewriter and writing to people that way. And I send emails like this one that I'm writing to my grandma. Crafting, but in order to get the most out of my crafting, the productivity tip here is that I only watch Netflix while I'm working on my embroidery, and I've almost finished a set of pillowcases because when you work hard, you can play hard. So those are some of my tips for how to do everything, both in quarantine and real life. My number one tip for when it comes to doing everything is sometimes you just have to sit back and take a break and do nothing. It's cloudy and kind of rainy out today, but I wish I was on the sunny shores of Lake Webb with all of you, and I will see you in 2021, K1 family.
Alright guys, it's time for trivia. Welcome to Trivia Again with Mike, and I'm standing or sitting in front of the new Coyote Lodge, which you guys haven't seen yet. It's a wonderful new lodge here at Kawani you'll see next summer. And of course, next summer we will be celebrating our centennial, which had to be postponed this past summer. So in honor of that, I'm going to ask some Kawani trivia questions in these next couple sections. And remember, if you're watching this live, you can submit your answers on the comments section, and the first person to get each question right will receive a prize sometime before the end of the next century. So, here we go. Although Camp Kawani was founded in 1920, in August of 1920, what was the first year that campers were at Camp Kawani? Although Camp Kawani was founded in 1920, what was the first year that there were campers at Camp Kawani? Second question today on Kawani History Trivia. In 1922, Kawani divided campers into divisions for the first time. This includes the familiar divisions of senior, junior A, and so forth. Today we do this by lodge. Depending what lodge you're in is what division you're in. So all the members in your lodge are in the same division. But in 1922, they did not use lodges as the deciding factor in what division you were in. In 1922, and for a few years after that, what was the deciding factor on what division you were in? In 1922, Kawani divided campers into divisions for the first time. What was the factor they used? Okay, and our third question this week. The United States, of course, does very well usually in the Olympics, especially in the Summer Olympics. Not so much in the Winter Olympics, though. But what country has the most Winter Olympic medals in history? What country has the most Winter Olympic medals in history? Although camp was founded in 1920, what was the first summer that campers were at Camp Kawani? The answer to that question was 1921. 1921 was the first year campers were at Camp Kawani. In 1922, campers were divided into divisions for the first time. In 1922, what was the deciding factor? Your weight. You were placed in division by your weight. What country has the most Winter Olympic medals in history? Norway is the correct answer, Norway.
Now's a good time to go back and revisit Camille's camper challenge from 2 weeks ago. She asked that you guys post pictures with your animals, your siblings, your plants, really anything you want to share with the Kawani family. So let's go back and see what you guys posted. Where should I let him go?
I love my dog, he's always there for me. I love my dog, he makes me happy. I love my dog, when he's next to me. I love my dog, I love my dog. 4 legs, 4 paws, white teeth, pointy claws, shaggy fur, cold wet nose, big white eyes. My love grows when he runs up next to me. I hug him so tight.
This is pet photo, Liza and... Yes, pet challenge, reporting live from Pine Point. That's a good one.
I would now like to introduce my Camper Challenge of the Week video. This is the Spirit of Camp from Home challenge. I would really like you guys to post pictures of your paddles, camp awards, any camp memorabilia you guys would like to share with your Kawani brothers and friends and everyone. So you guys can send that to KawanheeFromHome@gmail.com, and you can have that in by next weekend, please.
Hey, hey.
On a dark burner driveway, Maine wind in my hair, warm smell of the red pine rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw the forest glowing light. My head grew heavy and the smell got gross. I had to stop for the night, and we stood at the dining hall, all the campers in bed. And I was thinking to myself, this could be JP or this could be Hank. They lifted the lantern, they showed me the lake. There were voices in the lodges there, I thought I heard them say, welcome to the well-named Camp Kawani. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely lake. Plenty of fun at the well-named Camp Kawani. Any summer here, you can find it here. The place I got friends like Paul, Diego at home plate, JMG's identifying trees and the sailors' first aid. How they danced in the red hall, sweet summer sweat. Campground you'll remember, a ropes you never forget. So I called up the captain, please save my life. He said, we haven't had that spirit here since a cheap route one time. And still those campers are sleeping every single day. Wake you up every hour after taps just to hear them say, welcome to that well-named Camp Kawani. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, oh, such a lovely day. Plenty of fun at the well-named Camp Kawani. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. The best type of guys. Welcome to that well-named Camp Kawani. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely lake. Plenty of fun at that rumbling Camp Kawani. What a nice surprise, what a nice surprise. The best type of guys.
Oh, right. Now a good time? Yeah, now's a good time to say happy birthday to the young men who missed their birthdays this week, or at least didn't get to celebrate them at camp. Without further ado, let's give a big birthday shout out to Nolan Greenberger, Sam Jacobs, Danny Pagan, and Nick Medina. As we bring week 5 to a close, there's something really important I want to address with all of you. And that is, in the past, Kawanians who have missed a summer for educational reasons, sports, family matters, or what have you, and then have the opportunity to come back to camp at a later season, often doubt coming back to camp. And they may doubt coming back to camp because they wonder if their friends will still be there, if they will even think lesser of them for not going to camp or missing that season, if camp will still feel the same and be as fun as it was in the past. I want you guys to know that those who have wrestled with the thought of coming back to camp and still came back said it was one of the most life-changing and unforgettable summers of their camp experience. To those of you who may have these doubts, just know that the Kawani brotherhood runs deeper than you may even think. You will be surprised at the friendships and experiences that are waiting for you at the shores of Lake Webb. I love and miss you all. I hope you are all happy and healthy. I cannot wait for Kawani 2021, the 100th season. It's going to be so great. Miss you all. May there always be a Kawani.